to help stop the genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora. We are the Black media component of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. If you're joining us for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. We encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast. Your respectful contributions shape the conversations that Black America and Africa need. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is based on publicly available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This audio podcast is available in two forms: audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, again, is our Black media component. Would like to encourage my listeners to please subscribe to my Medium page so that you can follow along during this presentation. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. I also provide the link to my backup Facebook page in the comment section below this audio podcast. I created this platform, quote, Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, unquote, to give people on my Facebook page and people in my social groups who are Black artists, African artists, such as authors, comedians, fashion designers, filmmakers, models, musicians, poets, gospel singers, spiritual leaders, as well as Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs. Please make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that you can promote your book, your business, or if you have a small ministry, then share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and website for their business or ministries. I also assist them with finding college grants and scholarships, legal services, all for free. If they work hard at growing their audience, then they will get sponsors who will help fund their online business or ministries. And again, that's my way of giving back. Once I'm able to get my Christian business, GRCI Chicago, which stands for the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, up and running, then I will invite local guest speakers and my international guest speakers who have came on my show when I was small time to attend our live events. Through the business, depending on our budget and sponsorship, we will help pay for their travel and hotel expenses. We will also give them a love offering for their time and talent. Those who have refused to work with me when I was small will not be part of my business because this is membership based. GCAM is about raising the bar in Black America. There will be protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GCAM members. Those who are not part of us, we will pray for them, we will show them tough love and keep it moving. I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner I can turn over the business to my management team and expand the business to the African continent. So, Africans, my African brothers and sisters from the global African family, if you're serious about me bringing my business to the continent, then help get my revised book on that bestsellers list and get behind this film project. This business is not about me. It's about CAM members and their families. It's about improving our community and meeting the needs of the African American community and the African immigrant community within the United States, specifically in Chicago. It's my hope that we will build this movement together, a movement that will not put politics over our interests, a movement that refuses to let the same insiders who have done nothing for decades keep holding power without accountability. We're nonpartisan, we're independent, and we are not affiliated with anyone. We're M1, meaning we are melanated first. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the community level. I will never forget where I came from or who I'm fighting for. Let's make a real change happen together. The grassroots community activist movement welcomes Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, Black artists, and African artists. Our aim is to move Kakam from behind a computer to the big screen, then into the African American community, and provide family friendly atmosphere rooted in solidarity and making a positive impact within the African American community as well as in the African immigrant community. We want to form alliances with the African immigrant community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this time, this is all I can do. Without support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my job. I don't want to waste another 33 years trying to get my business, trying to find people to work with me to get this business up and running. So this is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants, uh, and I'm still reaching out to like-minded Black Americans. But uh, but let's keep it a buck. A majority of Black Americans have become Americanized, entitled, and have developed a narcissist attitude. A majority of Black Chicagoans that I have spoken to on the streets told me that they're not interested in my vision and plan. And this also reflects itself online as well. So, you know, I mean, I don't want to waste another 33 years. I've done my best. But before I cut and run to Africa, I want to make sure that we get this business popping here in the city of Chicago. So I can turn the business over to my management team and bring the business over to Africa, starting in South Africa. This is why I created this platform to broadcast my vision and plan to those who will listen. I've been paying out of pocket for my business title since 2010, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all, and that's a turnoff. I pay the city, state, and the IRS. This is why I have to make this docudrama in order to reach the Black masses and the Black world. I want them to know who we are and what we're trying to do. But let's keep it a buck. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from patronizing my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we're up against, a 400-year-old slave mentality. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, Black Americans. Again, this is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand you are here to live your American dream, but I need your help. I'm trying to build the best African American business within the United States of America, but I have little to no support for that from Black Americans. I'm Black American, but I'm unable to reach my people. So, and I've been pushing this for the past 33 years. So, enough is enough. Trying to switch up a little bit, trying to keep um, the mission at hand, to try to do something positive in the African American community, to build the best African American business and replicate that business to the African continent. But I need for like-minded African immigrants to work with me. All I'm asking you to do is please purchase my revised book and read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to improve Black America, then you will automatically become a GERCAM member, point blank. And I encourage you all to just purchase my ebook for $9.99. Download it to your smartphone and um, put me on blast. That's going to help speed up the process. I don't want to be doing this another 33 years. I don't want to die in America. I want to bring my business over to the African continent and provide jobs for GERCAM members. Because again, this is going to be membership based because this is the way Black Americans made me. They pushed me into a corner. It opened up my eyes. I'm like, my goodness, I don't want to go do this kind of foolishness when I come to Africa. Black Americans sit up here and say, he, ha, ha, your business is not going anywhere. And yet, my people are sitting up here, um, basically, they have to work for somebody. They have to work for somebody else, looking for jobs. I'm trying to create jobs in this business, but I need brave and smart people that's going to help me, that's going to be on my management team to help me run this thing. Um, was our ancestors who fought and died during the civil rights era to help African immigrants and Afro Caribbeans to come to this country because the white supremacist financial elites only wanted America to be for European immigrants. Do the research. Call upon the global African family who reside in Canada, Europe, on the African continent, in Latin America, and in the Caribbeans. Please help get my revised book on that bestsellers list so I can do my job and get behind this film project. The name of my book is called The Solution for Black America: Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Second edition. It's available on Amazon in two forms: as an ebook for $9.99 or as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. And again, if you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then you will automatically become a GERCAM member. It's going to take GERCAM members, both like-minded African immigrants and like-minded Black Americans, for us to build this business together. That's going to be for credibility. We're going to take charge. We're not going to sit up here and be begging other organizations and all that stuff. We're starting from the bottom. We're starting from scratch. And it will be GERCAM members who will build the best African American business within the United States, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. And those of you that work with me, especially get behind this film project, will go down in history with me and Sister Renee. I provide my Amazon author page in the comment section below this audio podcast. I would love to speak with those of you who have read my story. I would like for you to make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that we can talk about the book and encourage others to get involved um, with our cause and get behind this film project. Quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. Our aim is to raise $250,000. We are using crowdfunding so that everybody knows exactly where the money will be going. Again, we have our GoFundMe page and we have our PayPal Giving Fund page. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page because you can use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. Upcoming events. Tuesday, May 20th, we have guest speaker, psalmist, minister Esther Oki from Nigeria. Wednesday, May 21st, we have guest speaker, Reverend Pastor Salon from Kenya. Thursday, May 22nd, we have guest speaker, Pastor Tabitha Shannon from Florida. Saturday, May 24th, we have guest speaker, Evangelist Gift David from Nigeria. Monday, May 26th, we have guest speaker, Reverend Nora from Ghana. And Thursday, May 29th, we have guest speaker, Pastor Carol Jonita from Kenya. Please mark your calendar for our next monthly virtual interactive conference, which is Saturday, May 21st, 2025. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. Everyone on my Facebook backup page, everyone in my social groups, everyone on my Instagram page, my LinkedIn page, my TikTok page, and my X page are welcome. On this platform, we are genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. I'm looking for 5 or more people to participate on my panel so that we can discuss the topic. If you're serious about being on the panel, then please send me your email address to my Facebook backup page in the inbox. Then I will email you information on how to get on the platform. Once I finish my presentation, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called Side B. I prefer to see you on camera first before you come on the show to avoid trolls. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connection with the global community. Theme, quote, American Empire from being the richest nation on earth to becoming in debt. The economic collapse is coming, unquote. Where? YouTube/Facebook Live. Time 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation, quote, Trump administration defends white South African refugee program and Afro-Caribbean governor Wes Moore vetoes reparations. Our first topic, Donald Trump, sorry, Let me say that again. Our first topic: Trump administration defends white South African refugee program. The Trump administration has allowed the white Afrikaners from South Africa, the former colonizers and creators of the apartheid regime, to come to the United States as refugees. This was a lie put out by Afro, which is a South African non governmental organization which focused on the interests of Afrikaners, a subgroup of the country's white population. Their Af- the Afrikaner civil rights organization. They've been crying foul ever since Black South Africans took power in 1994. How are they suffering when they own 75% of the land? Black people need to stop buying Tesla because of Elon Musk. You just have to stop doing that because he's the one that's encouraging Trump to do this. And the reason why I would say America is punishing South Africa is because they spoke out against, the conflict over there in Israel. They took them to the international courts. So, I think, they should have just, you know, focus on their own issues. It's bad about what's going on all over the world. But again, our house is on fire. That's what I keep trying to tell my members in CAM. We can't be focused on other people's issues because none of those groups were on that plantation. And we're suffering because of we won't come against this slave mentality. That's the main thing that's going to be Black America's downfall. And I don't want to sit up here and be like, oh, I told you so, and all that stuff. Again, I just want to I want to connect with like minded African immigrants and like minded Black Americans that's going to work with me and Sister Renee to first for us to get this book on that bestsellers list. I want to promote that to the fullest, as well as to encourage my listeners to get involved with our film project. Because once we get that out there like that, and the proceeds starts coming in, then that's going to put me in a better position financially. So that way I can purchase property here in the city of Chicago, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants to help me build the best African American business within the United States of America. And again, that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. But again, I've been reaching out to Black Americans in real life and online for the past 33 years, and I'm still on first base. And that's unacceptable. Family, that is unacceptable. And I want to make sure none of my members have to endure such foolishness that I went through for trying to do something positive, trying to build something. Getting back to the my presentation, the first group already came over here. The Trump administration is fast tracking them to citizenship, and that has angered other immigrant groups. Just like the illegal immigrants under the Biden administration who came over here getting access to housing, healthcare, and food assistance because of what the descendants of American slaves have done. We made that possible, my ancestors. Notice all these other groups under the Biden administration, Asians, Arabs, East Indians, Latinos, etc., LGBT, all have gotten all sorts of benefits and resources off the backs of our ancestors. They're being allowed to become a buffer class and enter into positions of political power. While Black Americans continue to ignore my vision and plan to help turn around our situation in this country. So that's the doggone shame. Many of these groups look down on Black Americans and call us lazy and criminals. That's not cool at all. Being very disrespectful. By the name of Tariq Nasheed started the delineation movement and recognition of ancestral lineage. He came up with the term FBA, Foundational Black Americans. So I give props to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Even though I disagree with some of the stuff that he says, but overall, you know, uh, I I take my hat off to him and I respect him. He also came up with the term tether, which refers to a few African immigrants and Afro Caribbean immigrants who relocate to America for economic opportunity, using the benefits of Black American civil rights struggle while talking down on Black American culture, history, lineage, or trying to undermine our political and social progress in America. And that's not cool. There's another group called ADOS, which stands for American Descendants of Slavery, is a term referring to descendants of enslaved Africans in the New World, which became the United States of America. The founders are Yvette Cornell and Antonio Moore. I was interested in trying to get Antonio Moore to come on my platform so that he could discuss his organization and also to see if we could form an alliance since we both talk about the wealth gap between blacks and whites in America. Because that's what I talk about in my revised book. And, I was like, when I found out about his organization, I was like, okay, let me see if I can holler at this brother and see if we could form some type of alliance. But then he started acting funny style with me and, not returning my emails you know, um, and so after that, I started doing my own little investigation about Adolphs. Come to find out, they stole the idea and rearranged the name of their organization from a brother named Norris Shelton, which is the founder of Descendants of American Slaves. Adolphs is also what I discovered is a front group for the Democrats because he was Antonio Moore was telling Black Americans that the best way to punish the Democrats is to vote blue no matter who, and just vote down ballot for Democrats. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's not punishing the Democrats, that's rewarding them. So I had an issue with that guy. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be bothered. And so I was warning my group members, when I found out about ADOS, what time it was with them, and we don't want to be involved with that. When Trump got reelected, all of these other groups got their wake-up call. I'm glad that my message is starting to get out there to like-minded Black Americans that we need to stop all that marching and protesting and start focusing on getting our house in order first. George Floyd should have been the wake-up call for Americans, but again, a majority of Black Americans are too far gone. They are completely Americanized. The, the Trump administration is deporting illegal immigrants while bringing over white people from South Africa under refugee status to fast track them to U.S. citizenship. This is white supremacy in real time, ladies and gentlemen. When the Democrats win the White House again, then they will continue to open up those borders and flooding the African American community with illegal immigrants to neutralize the black vote. Now, the whole world can see how racist America really is. I wish that the South African government would not allow those Afrikaners back into their country because what they did would be considered treason to come to another country and to tell, lies on that, just telling blatant lies. Um, they're not government officials. You know what I'm saying? But, like I say, even, I believe that Julius Malema should have been president of South Africa, but uh, our people, is that has something to do with that colonized mindset. They're looking at, would say, Zimbabwe, as an example. How um, if if you take the land from white people, that it's going to be a big consequence. Well, first of all, it don't belong to white people or Europeans. The African continent was given to us, melanated people, by God. They imposed themselves. It is what it is. That's historical facts. The Trump administration claimed to help white South African refugees because, according to them, they are facing genocide. We see the hidden hand in all of this. Elon Musk, an Afrikaner from the apartheid era. According to an ABC News article entitled, quote, Trump administration defends white South African refugee programs and main or admit groups U.S. arrival, unquote. 59 refugees have already arrived in America. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. The article said white farmers are being brutally killed and their land is being confiscated in South Africa, yet nobody is talking about it because it's, it's not happening. It's all propaganda. My political prediction in 2026 is that the Republican Party will have a civil war among Trump and MAGA versus the moderate Republicans when they lose the White House. Mark my words. They are not an ethnic group, they are a racial group. There's no such thing as a white South African. These people are from Dutch colonists. They're not part of the native population. They have their own culture. They're part of the colonialists, or let me say they're colonizers who invaded indigenous people's homeland. What is really happening is colonialism is not working anymore. And the United States is using its ability to go around the globe, hiding behind wars as its primary vehicle to take resources from weaker nations so that the white supremacist financial elites can continue the American empire. But it's getting tougher in Africa because of competitors such as China and Russia. Truth be told, all of the Democrats care about is deviant sexual acts and cheap labor from illegal immigrants. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, Afro Caribbean Governor Wes Moore vetoed reparations. I read an article from AP News, which is Associated Press News, entitled, quote, Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoes slavery reparations study, citing need for the, the work itself, unquote. Maryland Governor Wes Moore's public refusal to support reparation for descendants of American slaves slash freedmen, despite lending a state with deep historical ties to slavery and systematic injustice. There's a reason why the white supremacist financial elites allow Afro Caribbeans and Afro African immigrants who are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites to be in certain positions is for them to prevent restorative justice for descendants of American slaves slash freedmen. They know these people are going to undermine our claims because they are not from our lineage. They don't share our struggle. I encourage my brothers and sisters in Maryland when it's next time to vote, at, um, especially for the governor, please vote that man out of office because he's a threat. He doesn't represent our interests as Black Americans. He's in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. Furthermore, Westmore family is from Jamaica. It's easy for him to dismiss or deprioritize our policies without any type of internal conflict. They love foreigners who promote diversity without addressing systematic harms done to descendants of American slaves slash freemen. We want to talk more about our lineage and what has been done to our ancestors. But the white supremacist financial elites want to pacify our demands without delivering economic tangibles in the forms of lineage based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. That's why the argument that Obama was the first Black president did not mean nothing. They made sure that these people do not come from our lineage, and they've been playing that game for the past 60 years. And again, this is what I talk about in my revised book. But again, Black Americans don't want a solution. That's the problem. And like I say, once we get this business up and running, everybody's going to want to come out the woodworks then, and they're going to want to be a part of us. But as I stated many times before, ain't nothing changed on my end. I require that thumbprint, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be an official GRCAM member, I require that thumbprint. But before I can do all that, I need my management team in place first and foremost. I can't find anybody in my city. It is what it is, and this is why I'm online. I'm not on here for entertainment. This is a call to action. That's why I use the word genocide. Help stop the genocide in American ghettos. You can't sugarcoat genocide. It is what it is. This is why we have to select people from the soil, the Black grassroots, to represent us at the local and state level instead of allowing the white supremacist financial elites to choose people that are compromised or in their pockets and will only carry out their interests. Whether they are domestic coons or tethers, these people are going to avoid lineage based benefits for Black Americans. For example, what happened in California, it was Black Democrats that killed the reparations bill. And that opened up a lot of people's eyes. And I'm glad, that happened because this is what I talk about I've been talking about for over 20 years, trying to educate my people. They know that these people are going to prioritize immigrant immigrant issues over Black American issues. That's why the Congressional Black Caucus don't do anything for Black Americans, yet they kick hard for immigrants and immigrants' rights. They tell us we need to get over American slavery, but those same politicians are at the Holocaust Museum saying we will never forget. But when it comes to us, they lecture us about pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. They use these Black politicians as gatekeepers to represent Black America because the white supremacist financial elite see them as safe Negroes and less likely to disrupt the status quo. Their job is to block a Black agenda or anything that has to do with redistribution of wealth, which is reparations, that's going to close that wealth gap between Black and white America. Because once we get our reparations, then people on the African continent, you all going to get your reparations. Um, I would say Afro Caribbeans, you all going to get your reparations. And I would say Afro Latinos from Latin America will get their reparations as well. But it's Black Americans, we got to get ours first. It is what it is. We see all of these programs meant to uplift us, yet they get restructured to serve immigrants, LGBT, people of color. In other words, to erase us out of what our ancestors fought and died for. Reparation is our last fight in America. These white supremacist financial elites select a few Afro Caribbeans and Afro immigrants to be on the boards of reparations so that they can veto the bill and send a message to white society. We aren't unified on this issue, which give cover to white politicians to keep denying us what's due to us. Afro Caribbeans and African immigrants view the United States of America as a land of opportunity. It's not a place of ancestral trauma like it is for us. Their mindset is conditioned to assimilate and not confront these injustices. So that makes them ideal blacks for white dominant control systems. They want to appear inclusive without addressing historical harms. They're going to speak about diversity, not injustice. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. Put me on blast, ladies and gentlemen, by telling your friends to watch our content on our YouTube page. I'm going to send a challenge out to everyone that's listening to this audio podcast. I need you all to please support our film project so that we can move Gracam from behind the computer into the big screen, then into the African American community, specifically in Chicago. And I want the whole Black world to know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. Through our Black empowerment film, quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or who will contribute to support our film project on our GoFundMe page. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you donate through our PayPal Giving Fund page as and use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99. The paperback um, is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you all for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I want to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues. We do this every week. This will this will conclude our audio podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode. Peace and blessings. And again, thank you all again for um, listening to this audio podcast. Again, I'm doing the best that I can to get this business up and well, first to get my book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world can know our story. But most of all, I'm trying to connect with Black filmmakers as well as African filmmakers within the United States. All I'm asking you to do is read my story for yourself. If you agree, then talk with me through email. I provide my email in my revised book, my business email in there. And so, let's make that happen. And again, work with me while I'm alive. Don't wait until I'm dead. Again, I don't want to sit up here and be doing this another 33 years. Because once we get, like I say, once we get this film project fully funded and made, before I cut and run, I want to make sure that Sister Renee is going to be well taken care of because she's been working with me for the past 13 years behind the scenes. Appreciate that, sister. Yes, she is a descendant of American slaves. I wish I had more people like her working with me, but hey, it is what it is. Straight up turn off, for what I'm going through. You know, trying to do something positive and build something for the our next generation. But most of all, this business is for Black millennials and Generation Z. So I need you all to step up. I understand you just want to do dances and all that stuff to get likes and all that, but we over here, we want to solve Black issues at the grassroots level. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do all of this stuff myself because this is a Nehemiah assignment. So, and like I say, once we, make an impact, once people see this business materialize, everybody's going to want to be a part of it then. And like I say, I ain't on here playing no games. You know what I'm saying? Those that sat up here and rejected my vision and plans when I reached out to them, um, once this business is up and running and stuff, uh, I'm only going to focus on GRCAM members. Um, so basically, um, this is an opportunity for, I would say, African immigrants because you, first of all, you're going to go down in history if you get behind this film project. Also, Once I'm able to generate, or once I would say the proceeds from that film starts kicking in, that's going to put me in a better position financially to hire people. So that's why I'm saying work with me right now while I'm still quote unquote small. But again, I'm not going to be able, I'm not going to do this forever. I do not want to be, again, bogged down with Black American issues. That's why I'm not writing any more books. I want to create effective and successful Black businesses. That's what, that's why I say that this is going to be the best African American business within the United States, because it's going to be two businesses. Um, One part of the business is going to be our for-profit business. That's where I'm going to make my bread and butter. And in that, we're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing, because everybody needs food and shelter. Because I don't like begging people for donations. That's It's hard, but hey, it is what it is, because I don't have any investors. So that's how come I'm starting out with trying to, do the nonprofit thing. The nonprofit portion of the business is where we're going to have all our support systems in place to help, single Black mothers, single Black fathers, and two-parent Black families. That's in both the low income African American community and the working class African American community. But especially the low income African American community, because those are the people that's hurt the most. That's the community I came from. And I don't want to, like I say, I mean, hey, I'm just telling my truth. This is my experience. Um, Now again, before I cut and run, I want to make sure we get it popping here first in Chicago for credibility. Again, I'm not interested in it. Well, I wrote in the book. I was hoping that it can at least be in 25 cities. But my God, this is 33 years and I'm still don't have it up and running here in Chicago. I'm just paying, I'm actually losing money. But I know that all of my hard work will pay off. This is why, again, I'm reaching out to like-minded African immigrants and like-minded Black Americans outside of beyond Chicago. Need smart boots on the ground. Over here, we're not going with all that marching and protesting, begging descendants of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality. People have been doing that for the past 60 years. I got something new, but we got to get our minds, we have to come against that slave mentality. And for African immigrants, you're going to have to come against that colonized mindset. We've been apart from each other for 400 years. We're going to have to learn about each other's culture, trust each other, and most of all, build this business here in Chicago first for credibility, so I can expand it to the African continent, specifically in South Africa. I don't want to come to Africa empty handed. I want to bring economic tangibles. I want to be able to hire Black South Africans. Know what I'm saying? So that you can feed your family. I want us to enjoy this type of business. This is not where we're going to be all stressed out and stuff. That's why I want us to make Black empowerment films. And I want Cacao Chicago to become, I would say, a tax base in the African American community and in the African immigrant community where people, I would say, people from outside of Chicago would come to patronize our business. And I want this to be on an international level. So Gurkai of Chicago is going to be on two fronts. One is going to be a domestic front where we focus on Chicago, and the other is going to be on the international front where we focus on South Africa and then other places in Africa, other African nations. So we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. For example, when I go to South Africa, I want to prove to continental Africans that I mean business because I'm going to apply for dual citizenship. I'm going to start Gurkai of South Africa. That's going to be the business there because we're going to replicate Gurkai of Chicago and we're going to change the name because we want to represent South Africa. So, Gurkai of South Africa. Once I do that, then we're going to shoot our second film, African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset. And so, in when we're over in South Africa, what I want to make sure is that we get our foot in the urban areas, and then we're gonna once we're established there, we're gonna get our foot out there in the rural area because we're gonna be in two places. That's just how it's gonna be. I want to help our brothers and sisters that's in those shanty towns. You shouldn't have to be living like fourth and fifth class citizens in your own country. You know what I'm saying? But again, I got to get it popping here. So that's all I'm saying. Anybody that think that this is a scam, I ask you to delete me off your friends list. Do not come to no events with my name on it and stand on that. Don't change your mind. Well, with that being said, you all, that's going to conclude our show for today because I can go on and on, but um, I have to chill because I have my guest speaker that's going to be coming up shortly. So I want to be have energy for that. But yes, this is very difficult, and I know that eventually this is going to pay off because I want to make sure the next generation don't have to go through what I went through. This is why a lot of Black Americans don't want to get involved with Black issues because of what I'm going through. But hey, I'm I like I say before I cut and run, I want to make sure I get it popping here in America first because that's for credibility. And when I come to Africa, I want to teach Africans that want to learn. I don't want to just be giving lectures and all that kind of stuff. We want to have fun. For example, um, I would say for the youth, we have a youth program. We're also going to have sporting, have our own, I would say, amateur sports. But hey, it's a start. Sports teams and stuff like that. But so I would say Christian spoken word versus secular spoken word. Whoever can flow the best will win $500 in cash. That's my way of getting our youth to get involved with this thing, to get them out of the streets, you know? Because over here in America, that's selling drugs and being a criminal. I mean, all they're doing is contributing to the school, the prison pipeline. And so over here, we want to break that. That's all. And I want to help our youth stop killing each other by providing them employment. That's all. So just doing the best that I can. With that being said, peace and blessings. I'm out.